I'm not. I apologize. This is like my kryptonite. I see a green light, so I'm looking at it as if I'm looking at you, so hopefully I am. I was getting ready to cut out some tomatoes and different things out of the garden and realized I haven't shown you because I haven't cleaned up the deck. So just know the deck is not cleaned up. I have more things I'm going to plant, but I wanted to show you what's going on because it's kind of magical. I talk a lot about the Lidl containers that you can only, I'm going to show you, and like again, these are things that need to be cleaned up. Look, I haven't even sat out here because it's too hot and there's stuff all over there. But let me show you a little bit of the garden and then maybe I'll pick some stuff too. Again, that needs to be cleaned up. That's going to be home of a citrus tree. I will try and not make us all sick with the gimbal. Hey everybody, come say hey. I will try and catch all the questions. I did like splurge and get this strawberry tower at Lowe's. It was kind of like 40 some dollars. But Lidl earlier, hey Leith, had plants. And so I just got some strawberries and I'm hoping that this will kind of continue next year. I've got a couple of strawberries, but it has not been really, they're just starting to kind of mature. Hey kitty mommy. Yeah, I'm finally feeling better, even though it's hot. So these are the 2 tomatoes I've already picked today. And also, I feel like this is a commercial for Lidl. So if Lidl would like to sponsor me, come talk to me. Hey Gina from Canada. I didn't even notice on these, I got these this year. Small hands, large hands, and I have tiny chipmunk hands, so I'm loving that. So I did get a couple of zucchini, which traditionally don't do well. Hey Tanya and Christine, and I'm not great with the gimbal, but I want to show you. So this is the containers I've been using for Lidl, those square kind of rectangle ones you can see. And down below, come on, where that hole is, that's a reservoir. So that's super handy when it's like 100 and some degrees. These, I'm going to show you kind of while I'm down here, because I'm hunched over like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. The big round ones are the tomatoes. They're called tomato containers. And as you can see, it comes with that tomato cage. You may not be able to see. They're doing so good. I'm so excited. And I just filled them up this morning because since it's in a reservoir and it's going to be hot, I can fill it up later because it's not going to steam the fruit. Hopefully, I'll tell you tomorrow if I'm crying. But the zucchini, we get really bad squash bugs, but so far this one's doing okay, and I usually grow 1 or 2 just to get the squash blossoms. And I got these 2. See, this one's in a knot container and I'm hiding it under the table for this hot day. And hey everybody, you're seeing my messy deck that I'm going to be cleaning up next week. These are some things that still need to go in. I got some tomatillos last week. They're looking real scary. I've been watering them every day, but they need to get in the ground. Hey TS. Oh, that's awesome. It's pretty hot, but as you'll see, I have some zones on my deck. And this is a 2nd story deck, so here, let me move this too so you can see more of the other stuff. Sorry, you're getting the view of the so this is a long cucumber. I know you guys like vertical, so that's why we're getting the long views. Let's see, does he have one? Yeah, so there's one growing right now, but these are like the long English cucumbers, and I already picked one and juiced it, and it was delightful. I got 2 eggplants. We're in the sunny all day. Oh, it is so hot, CJ. So at 5 p.m. 2 days ago, the heat index was 105, which is not right. But look, so I've got, I think I have 3 on here now, and I've picked 4 that are in the fridge. So I'm going to make, you know, my broccoli with garlic sauce recipe. I'm going to make eggplant with garlic sauce. And these are a lot of my lemon lime citrus orchard that's very tiny. I have 2 bigger ones. 2 mints just did not make it through the heat. Here is one of my boxes. So I do love these, but they're not great for vegetables, but they are so inexpensive. Those big plastic guys have a small reservoir. Hi, Diana. And they're great for herbs. So, in here, let's see if I can get you a good shot. I've got regular thyme, sage, and lemon thyme. I'm growing a gigantuan lemongrass. I've got chives and marjoram. And see, do you see how I've got shade? I'll explain some of that. And there's a few other little things. But let me finish on the sunny side. So over here, and I just moved this around, which is why he looks unhappy. These are pickling cucumbers. Oh, do you guys see? There's a bee pollinating my stuff. Hey, Lydia, it's good to see you. Oh, that's worth coming in for, just seeing a bee fly around and doing its thing. So the soil looks really dry, but I just filled up that reservoir, so it should do well. I get my tomatoes from this guy at the regular Raleigh Farmers Market. No. Why are you doing that? Okay, give me a second. Thank you. Yeah, Nona, it is very sad that Dr. McDougall passed. And we're all very sad about that. It feels so weird to say that and then start talking about my tomatoes, so forgive me. It's 59 degrees there. CJ, I'm moving. But like when I was starting to get a couple of tomatoes, so like I've got lots of cool heirlooms. Can you see the red back there? There's such a glare on my phone, I can't tell, but there's lots of green tomatoes. Look over here, I've got yellow. And so if you look at the tags, they're dwarf tomatoes. So they're not cherry tomatoes, but they won't get much bigger than this. There's a guy, these are cherry tomatoes, and I've been picking these. Oh, you can see a whole bunch there. As soon as I saw how colorful it was, I decided you could see this deck bad or not. These are gonna get red, but they've got a nice kind of blackish color to them too. I have some more basil to put in. And look at these guys. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's see if that helps. Can you guys kind of see that? There we go. All right, so now we will stop doing the minuscule. So it's like a little secret place here with all the trees going. I know you guys have seen this before, but we have these big, giant trees over there. And that creates kind of a shady environment. But I'll show you my shameful lavender, which is dying. This is Santa Cruz oregano and regular oregano and some potatoes. Whenever potatoes sprout, I just plant them and they make a vine. And you'll see that over here. Hey, Lise, that was the same temperatures we had here yesterday. Lisa, where are you? And so I've got some mint and weeds. I don't know why. Usually orange mint takes over everything and it is not interested. So it's going to get moved. We have a plant that we saved and those are potato vines. Here is a puppy who's happy to be in the shaded part of the deck. Edmonton, Canada, that's right. So he's like, it's hot. Look at that. Look at that beautiful puppy. These two are my big citrus that I've had for a couple of years. So this one day will make pink lemons that are variegated on the outside. So you can see they're variegated leaves. These both got spider mites over the winter in the house. So that was sad. But see these big giant trees. So we kind of have this dual, and then I'm going down the steps. The hose is still here and there's something that was covering so you could see. So when you come down here, these two I'm going to be moving. Nothing. I had Swiss chard in here from earlier in the spring and it's just not doing anything. And then the petunias came back all on their own. And then I repotted my rosemary into one that doesn't have a reservoir. It's doing pretty good. I moved these together so it could catch the drips. This is a goji berry that came from this goji berry, which I've gotten about 5 goji berries off of in the past 2 years, maybe 10. Let's give it a generous thing, but it was at the farmer's market. So I was like, hey, I've never seen that. So my friend Jeremy that you see on here, I'm offered it to him, so I don't know if he wants some. But if you're local and you want some, let me know. It looks like it's propagating some of itself. This is, hey Lori, this is one of the jalapenos, and I got most of my veggies, not all, but most of them from this one guy in Raleigh. And if Jeremy pops on, he will tell you the name of the guy. He's not, I don't know if he's still at the Raleigh Farmers Market, but he worked for NC State Agricultural Department. So his hybrids are amazing. So this, as you can see here, it's a very prolific jalapeno plant. It's just one plant. Oh, look, another bee. That makes me so happy. I've seen some honeybees too, which we don't usually see as much of. This is called a lunchbox pepper. And so it has little peppers. I haven't gotten a lot off of this. This is my first year growing it. As you can see, I need to cut some of the peas off. I put some peas, which I didn't really get much of, but they were beautiful, beautiful purple flowers, and they add some nutrition. This is my other eggplant, my Thai eggplant that I haven't gotten yet. This is my first one that's growing. I think I have another one over there, but that's going to be big fun. And you can tell these plants, okay, there's 2 reasons these aren't getting as big and lush, like especially with this eggplant. I planted it a little bit later. It was in a small container for longer. And also it's in this shadier part. Now this isn't shady all day. It's shady, let's see, till about there, till about noon, and then it gets full sun through the evening. Those over there that are past the tree line get sun from like 8 o'clock in the morning or whenever the sun comes up.
Yeah, it's all day.
All day. Can I?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention to everyone, good morning.
There's Cheryl. Hey, one anti-venom.
I just wanted to mention to everybody that on July 14th in Winter Garden, Florida, there will be a meetup with Kathy and I.
So,
that happens if you
can you guys hear her? You might want to talk a little louder because the mic is on here.
So there's going to be a meetup.
A live meetup, people.
A live meetup, July 14th in Winter Garden, Florida. If you are interested in that, please email support@healthyslowcooking.com and I will get you hooked up with the details and get you on the list.
Right, so we're going to be in Florida for something, and so we're doing a meetup in Winter Park.
Winter Garden.
Winter Garden. This is why Cheryl says these things and not me. Winter Garden, somewhere in Florida. I only know one winter. I'm about to know 2. It's going to be exciting.
You know the other one. You went there last year.
I don't remember the name, but we'd love to see you in person. We're just going to all kind of get together and share a meal at an Indian restaurant.
Indian restaurant in Winter Garden.
And we can chat, and we would love to see you. And if you guys are coming and you want me to bring the gluten-free vegan cooking in your Instant Pot, I can bring some of those and I can sign them to you there. Just let us know. We'll bring a few anyhow. Sorry, there's a big truck coming. But anyhow, we'd love to see you. If you're in the Heartbeat group, there's an event for it, and we would love you to RSVP so we know what to tell the restaurant. We're going even if it's 4 of us.
Right.
So we will be there regardless of if it's a big turnout or a tiny turnout. So we would love to see you. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, we're doing an exercise meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Eva, I do see your question. I am going to get to it. So I'm going to get to your question. I promise, Eva. So we're going to talk about exercise because we have a free thing. Because you know we have a free Heartbeat group. And if you don't know it and you're new to me, if you go to the front page of my YouTube channel. Up at the top, it says free heartbeat group. Go join there. You'll get emails of events and things like that. You can change your settings to get no emails, and that is also in there. But you can always email support at Healthy Slow Cooking if you have trouble. But, oh, thanks, Eva. A top garden, and I'm going to show you the absolute last of the garden. Cheryl knew I was going to forget. But so come and hang out with us. The exercise thing is not intense. Literally, there are prizes just for meeting your goals. And what is it? What's the theme for next month that we're talking about? Intensity?
I think intensity, yes.
Intensity. So it doesn't have to be intense. So like if you need to do chair exercises, you can do chair exercises. If you're doing an Ironman, you can do an Ironman. And everything counts. So like literally, if you're like, I've not done anything. Oh, CJ says, love Cheryl's t-shirt. Yeah, it's really nice. It's from Universal Studios where we go and see the Harry Potter stuff. CJ sent us just the best pictures from Edinburgh the other day. So it's very exciting. Oh, look, maybe the bee just wants to be famous. And he's like, I know. Kat says, you know, no one in their right mind comes to Florida in the summer. I live in Sarasota. We're going for a workshop that's going to help us do... Oh, the hummingbird's here. Do you see him? Hello, hummingbird. He loves the oregano. There's one guy. Okay, he's gone. So hopefully you guys got to see him. That was so exciting. That's my first hummingbird sighting this summer. And I'll finish telling you about this. We're almost done. I'll answer Eva's question, but I did not participate in the June exercise challenge because I got sick, which is also why I haven't done any lives in a while. But look, we just ate a full thing of shishito peppers. This is one pepper plant. Look at all those. Those have grown this week, just this week. This thing is absolutely going crazy, and there's tons of blooms. So we're gonna have shishito snacks without going to Trader Joe's. And I mean, his plants are so healthy. And these down here, again, I planted weeks after the ones up. This is my other jalapeno that I've probably gotten 8 or 9 jalapenos off already. And then Jeremy, my friend that you guys see, and if you follow me on Instagram. Oh, CJ says that was my first hummingbird sighting in 50 years. Sometimes I work out here and it'll come and it makes me so happy. But I only see one, but we don't put out feeders because I don't want any of our animals to get too interested. This is an Ashe County pimento plant. My friend Jeremy does different kinds of testing and ends up in different parts of North Carolina. And so he brought this to me as a gift, and he got one and his died. So I put mine in the like nicest corner to nurture it, and I'll be moving it out into the sun probably when it gets just a wee bit bigger and these pimentos come out, and then I know I have seeds for him. Well, I'll have pimentos and seeds for him. So, all right, I will come up here and sit, I think, and then turn the camera around where I'm not making everybody feel seasick. I am sweating. The cucumber, I just gave it water, but look, see how wilty? That's why. And then I'm going to be harvesting some tomatoes, but let me answer some of your questions. But these guys, these are taller than me. So they're like a little over 5 feet. Hey, Dee. I know. Oh, you know, and someone said their tomatoes aren't flowering anymore. And so like, it's very hot. And what I'll do is if I notice that these guys aren't doing so well, because these are in basically my full sun environment, I will move them to the second part of the deck. Okay, I'm going to sit on my dirty couch. And I'm going to turn this around, hopefully. And then I will answer some questions. Let's see how this works. Am I just, okay. And again. Dee says I don't have enough shade, even garden towers in hibernation. Yeah, it's It's real when it's this hot. No. Okay. It's so much easier to do this on the computer. I know, it's really delightful. So back there are all crepe myrtles too. They're really, we haven't cut them in 12 years. And here's the thing I want to tell you about my garden. I am not a gardening genius by any standards. I've done all the wrong gardening things throughout the years that I have lived here in North Carolina, which was my first garden. Hey Amal, it's awesome to see you here. Don't forget that containers are okay. And like what Dee was saying, and I know Dee lives in Florida, and if North Carolina is this, oh, got hummingbirds on fence vines, that's lovely. It's getting hot. It's probably going to get hotter as the years go on, evidently, because this is so unusual for this time. It's usually hot. I'm sweaty, but it's not usually for June. At least most of June, I'm out here working on my computer and just go in once the sun comes up. So the reason I'm all shady and dark is so I can see this and see your questions. But I have an umbrella here. But honestly, I'm melting. It's what time is it? It's not even noon yet. It must be 11-ish. That sounds like we should have a snack, actually. But so with this garden, we have a lot of deer. We don't. I had some of those other garden boxes. What are they called? Earth boxes down in the backyard before we let it go wild, and not necessarily in a good way. So you guys got to see part of the mess up here, not all of it. Hey Elizabeth, same heat here in Texas. Oh, one anti-venom. I'm terrified of New Orleans summer this year. I hope it's my last summer. When I lived in New Orleans, I didn't even have an air conditioner for like the first year and a half, and it was I spent a lot of time at the library that summer. But if you have containers, and the reason I keep saying Lidl, again, is not because they pay me any money. I get no money when you buy something from them. So if you have a better source from it, go for it. However, like those, they're like 3 feet tall, 1x3 planters that I showed my herbs. They're still $29.99 when they come out, but they only come out once a year. And so it's past time that you can get the tomato ones. You can check yours. Sometimes they might have some, but those little 1x2s, I started out with just those in front of those 2 beds. And so traditionally the past few years, Cheryl's parents give me birthday money in April, and my birthday money goes right to Lidl and wherever I buy plants from. And finding I did grow some from seeds, but again, I'm not an expert. I did it to experiment with it, and I'm not great at it. He's great. These plants, and putting the tomatoes in the tomato planters, I feel like I should hit myself in the head, have made tenfold difference from it being smaller. They did well in that compared to what they were doing in some non-self-watering containers. But like the tomato planters, I think were $29.99 each. So Kat, it's a grocery store like Aldi's, and I'm sorry, like a machinery is going by. Lidl. So it's like Aldi's, and but it's not Aldi's. Aldi's doesn't have it. Yeah, and Dee says she can do stuff from seeds, but it's too hot. Amal says, love that Kathy says I'm no expert in XYZ and then writes a detailed book about it 3 or 4 months later. You win that one. I'm definitely a geeky brained person. I like to know all the things. Gardening is beyond my knowing all the things, I think. However, I think what's important, and maybe this is a really good thing to think about, you can go from not knowing how to do something, experiment and have kind of a good time and enjoy and learning, and just let things be like, if it fails, it fails. Like these tomatillos that I rescued 2 weeks ago that are looking just really ragged. They may work, they may not. I may lose $6. But if it's not ridiculous tonight, I'm going to plant them in the one of the planters that I need to clean out, because I have 2 growing Swiss chard that are this big that are not going to grow anymore. So I need to get those out, get the tomatillos in there, and it's an experiment. And I think with food and gardening, it's very similar that way. Oh yeah, there is an indoor tower. Our friend Jill Dalton has one of those. That's our goal this summer is decluttering the house, which is a massive thing that we're trying to do. So until all of that is done, there will be no tower inside our house. And I'm sorry, I keep shaking the table. Let me see if I can stop. I make no guarantees. So, just think, I do better. I get stressed out. I get nervous every time I try something new, and I worry about failing, even though I wholeheartedly believe that you can't succeed in anything without being willing to fail in it. And that is my life philosophy. And that is how I went from teaching myself how to cook, not knowing how to do any of it, not knowing how to garden, not knowing how to run a website or be on YouTube. Oh, Dee says she'll give me hers. Well, did you hear we're going to be in Winter Garden in like 2 weeks? We're doing a meetup. Dee, I think you are in the Heartbeat group, so you probably saw the event. I don't know how far that is from you. It's near Orlando. So we're having a live Kathy and Cheryl meetup. Lori says, that's how I learn. I fail and start again with more knowledge. Exactly. It's amazing. Amal says veggies from these messages when I'm on my phone. They don't, okay. Can you please give me my messages back? It won't give them to me back. And I still haven't forgotten the ice cream question. Okay, but 7 to 8 hours on the west side. Okay, yeah, that's too far for you to drive to come hang out with us for dinner. Unless you want to spend the night in Orlando and have a good time in July. So I'm expecting no one to come down who's not already trapped in Florida. But I think Amal was saying they didn't feel like the vegetables tasted as good from inside. And I don't know, I don't have that experience, though here in North Carolina, they do hot house tomatoes and house strawberries. Lisa says, I'm learning how to vegetable garden from my 91-year-old grandmother-in-law who's been doing it for 70 years. Bring on the knowledge. Tell me all the things. I will say, shamefully, my top two mistakes, not fertilizing. Just deciding they're out in the sun, they're in dirt, they don't need to be fertilized. So that's one thing that I'm doing actively different. For my little citrus grove that may or may not ever give me a lime, a lemon, or key lime. I got more this time. That was my big fail in it. And actually I was using the one citrus fertilizer that isn't recommended and not using it enough. The second biggest thing for me, and this has happened to me in all my gardens, when it gets too hot, I just don't come in water. One anti-venom loves her indoor garden and she wishes she could show a picture here. I can only do herbs and lettuces. One anti-venom, if you send it to me, kathyhester@gmail.com, I will put it up in the community part. I don't know if you guys can upload photos there on YouTube, but I'll see. If it's possible, I'll say upload pictures of your garden. I'm thinking it probably isn't because some people are unsavory. So what happens is I get hot and uncomfortable, and I kept having all these things I wanted to have self-watering stuff, and I really wish we need to replace the faucet, the thing that goes into the house leaks if we leave it on, because my goal, and we have a lovely plumber, Blake Plumbing that lives across the street that we're going to get to do this at some point, probably not when it's so hot, is to replace that so I could have it turned on downstairs, because there's leaves and we have snakes and we have poisonous snakes and poisonous spiders around in here, so I don't like going where it's not nice. So yes, we could clean that up and then I would be a little better about it. But Cheryl doesn't mind. She's not wearing sandals. Turns it on for me. We have the hose up here. I'm going to be filling these up. My only worry is when we go to Florida in July, like crazy people, I admit, that hopefully our friends can at least just keep the reservoirs. But I just thought, I could move everything from the sun over to the shady spot where they don't get quite so much. Hey Monique, good morning. All right, now back to, I think it was Eva's question. I think were you in Germany? You were talking about using the Ninja Creami for a commercial ice cream business. So I think one of your questions was, can you do it with vegan ice cream instead of dairy? Davika, I know, I have been sick. I was sick for like 10 days. It was the best kind of sick though, but we can talk about that later. Eva's waited long enough. I do not recommend using the Ninja Creami for an ice cream business. Okay, there's several reasons why. A, it's not for commercial use, so it's going to wear out probably in the middle of you having a big summer ice cream sale, because it's not made to be used like that. Oh, thank you. I got my hair done, a facial, and a pedicure yesterday. Yay, thank you, Monique. So it's not for commercial use. A. B, you have to spin it every time. So especially when we're doing, like my recipes are whole food plant-based recipes, you're going to need to spin it to get that beautiful texture that we get from it. That's why it's perfect for whole food plant-based over something like a Cuisinart, put the thing in the freezer ice cream maker, because what happens for me, if I'm making a whole food plant-based mixture, it doesn't harden up quite enough. I put it in the freezer and then I pull it out as hard as rock, right? So having this Ninja Creami respin it, or basically creamyize it again, it freezes solid. I'm sorry, I am so trying not to touch the table, and I'm also so paranoid I'm not looking at you, but my heart is looking at you if I'm not. Okay, let me sit back. Just chill out. Deep. I haven't been on lives breaths in a long time. So there is a commercial product that is similar to the Ninja Creami that you could use, but it's really expensive. I think the entry level one is $5,000. And it's something it's a Paco jet. It's used in Michelin star restaurants and fancy restaurants to make ice creams and purees. They let their patent lapse, and Ninja Creami made a household version one. So that's what I would say. If you have more questions, put them down below. And I'm sorry right now, because I'm on my phone, because that's how I showed you all the different things, is that I can't go back and see the comments. I know I'm supposed to. I think that's all just, I'm trying again, but I just, okay, wait, chat viewing, top chat, all messages are visible. Can I, oh, okay, I can bring it back. All right. Alyssa says, hey girl, hey, awesome. Oh, thank you about liking my hair. Lisa, you just missed the big garden reveal. She got one of the tomato planters from Lidl, which is, again, just a grocery store that has them in the spring. And like, mine are just doing killer. They're 5 feet tall. I'm like, okay, here, for those of you who are coming in late, these are only two of my tomatoes from today. Are they awesome? So I was telling Cheryl I was going to get some tomatoes from this local place. They're $9 a pound. Jeremy says muffins. Jeremy, I showed our baby plant that we are co-parenting. It is over, so like I have the sunny part of the deck that gets sun from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Well, maybe 7 p.m., 6 p.m. because those trees over there. And then I have some down here that don't get really sun until noon. So I've been babying our plant. There's about 3 bell pepper or pimento peppers on it, and a bunch of come back, chat. I hate this on the phone. All right, here we go. Oh, thanks you guys. Lydia says spiders are her phobia. I'm okay, but we have a lot of black widow spiders, and we're talking about a lot of a lot of debris around. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if I can go back now. And again, so the name of the containers, it's actually the store where I get them from. They're Parkside Containers is the brand, but I've only seen them at Lidl, L-D-I-L. Dang it. I let that go and it went, I'm gonna have to go all the way down the back. Let's see if I can just scroll. Okay, I think I'm at the beginning now. So, I wish I didn't have a brown thumb. I'm like that with houseplants. I can't do anything. And I'm just going to go back and find Eva's question, I think. Evo, sorry, I've been calling you Eva. Is it possible to sell dairy-free vegan ice cream, nice creams and so on with the Ninja Creami Deluxe, or is it too small? Would it be better to try with the Vitamix? I would do the Vitamix. I bought a little food truck here in Germany, so I did remember that, and I would love to try it instead of just buying the big containers with dairy ice cream. I have no idea how to do this. I'm 52 years old. You're a baby. I'm 59 years old. And I learned how to use Creami just a few years ago when it came out. So there are a couple things you could do if you want to do this as a food truck. I don't think you want to make this per order, and that's what you would be doing with the Ninja Creami. I don't think you want to do it necessarily in the Vitamix per order, but you could, like if you're doing like smoothie bowls or acai bowls, if you're doing nice cream with like on the food truck, do you have a freezer? I'm assuming you do. So maybe have frozen bananas, frozen fruits. You could put that into your Vitamix and make things up. I don't know if you're trying to do whole food, plant-based, no oil, or what diet you're following. So, oh, that's funny. Oh my God, black widows. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tia says, I haven't seen a Lidl, and they're just starting to show up here. There's not one in Durham. I drive 45 minutes to go to the Lidl. And then when I'm there, they're like 20 minutes apart, so I hit all 3 to get whatever. If they're doing something like this, they'll have like, sometimes like 30 per store. So I'll get, obviously I'm not getting, I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, and I would get 7 more next year too. But with the food truck, if you're okay with using coconut milk, which is not Dr. McDougall's favorite thing. Alyssa says Lidl is just your excuse to get Ethiopian. Ethiopian is a worthy reason. We go to Cary to Aways. If you guys are local, they have the best vegan plate. It's awesome. And also there's a Patel Brothers and 8,000 Indian restaurants. It's a really nice little area over there in Cary. But if coconut ice cream or things with some natural fats like avocado, nut-based ice creams, coconut ice creams, could be a good thing to sell, because you can make those and then those are going to stay more scoopable. They're not going to freeze as hard as my sweet potato vanilla or my Okara chocolate, right? That doesn't have any of that in. It makes the perfect consistency in the Ninja Creami, but it's a very specific appliance. So I hope that helps. I don't know if it does, but you definitely don't want to The Ninja Creami Deluxe, also, you're just going to have to keep spinning it. So you would need, it would not work as a food truck, I don't think. You can prove me wrong, and if you prove me wrong, please take pictures and send it to me, and I will say I'm wrong publicly. But I am imagining myself in a food truck with a line of 10 people, which is not that much, and me having to spin Creamichinos for them on the deluxe machine at 8 minutes each. And I think that, you know, like the longest spin is 5 minutes in a deluxe, but usually you have to spin more than once. Is the flying spiders, the huge ones they're showing pictures of, looking creepy? Yeah, one Andy Venom talked about that too. And I haven't seen any, and supposedly I'm hearing both, the spiders, and then I'm hearing other people going, the media is putting the spiders out of proportion. So I'm not worrying about it right now. I don't know. So far, it hasn't ticked my phobia box yet. Once it does, but there is also a very harmless, happy garden spider that looks very similar. So don't just go killing everything. Do you guys have any questions? Any other questions while I'm here? I'll see if there's anything. I hate the way this works. I'm so spoiled. Here we go. Oh, and Dee saying my tea dessert awaits in the freezer, froze another pint, and I've got to find where my sleepy time tea is. Ooh, another recipe that's going to be coming up soon that I'm super excited about is Thai green tea. One anti-venom says the flying spiders are bashful and harmless. Yeah. Evo says thank you, not for commercial use. Good to know. The expensive machine you said is the Paco Jet. Stupid chats. Here we go. If it works, I save money to buy it. I'll Google it. Yeah. I think you could just, if you have a freezer, you could get something. I don't know what the German equivalent would be. Actually, you know what? I know Aldi's and Lidl's are both doing sales on those Cuisinart style where you freeze the thing in the freezer, you put your ingredients in, and you put it in an electric machine. So I would look there because you can make those, freeze them in containers, and then you could scoop them. Oh yeah, Thai tea. Yes, I am going to tell you more. And someone else just said, what do I do? What do I do for tomato worms? So far I haven't had tomato worms. I have had white flies and some weird bugs. I don't know what they are, but like, okay, let's imagine this is this. Okay, so the bug is here, and I go and I look at it, and it goes around the side where I can't see it. Then I even put my camera there to see if I could film it, and it was like, no, I will hide. So I sprayed them off with water. The white flies, I sprayed them off with water. I would do, if they get worse again, I'll do insecticidal soap, which just means some soap and water. But a lot of bugs you can just spray off. Tomato hornworms, and they're creepy when they get their little, like they're kind of creepy, kind of cool. But then there's something that attaches to them that's white and looks really gross, and that one creeps me out. But you can just pick them up and put them somewhere else. Like, this is a second story deck. I can pick them up and put them out in the backyard. Chances are good they're not going to migrate back if it's the caterpillar. Like, I had some parsleys, and I believe it was monarch butterflies that just ate the bejesus out of them. But I knew it was going to be beautiful butterflies, and I was fine with that. So there's that. And what else were we saying? There was some other question. I'm sorry. I haven't even had my coffee yet. I just came out to water things. Yeah, treat for bugs. Most things insecticidal soap will work. Sometimes there's neem. You can go into garden groups, and I think there's even vegan gardening groups. Okay, Thai tea, that's what we're doing. Okay. Stop it. Okay, so green Thai tea, we had one place. I'm going to slide over because this, do you see how the sun is coming out? All right, see, and I can see myself looking over here like a crazy person. All right, so it's so hard to change sometimes. And I'm on the periphery, I'm seeing all these great things. My yard guy says mashed garlic water sprays for his culprits. Oh, that's great. Um, so green Thai tea we had never seen, and we got some. They at most Thai restaurants, they use sweetened condensed milk for Thai teas of all kinds. And since they have coconut milk, they will usually replace it and give you to make it vegan. It is still not good for you. It is not whole food, plant-based, super nutritious. So I'm not telling you should do it for any kind of new. Yeah, you do have a freezer. I thought you would, Evo. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name as well. So Thai tea is red. And I've done some, I have on healthyslowcooking.com my version, my white girl version of Thai tea from some things I looked up. I'm going to make a different one coming up soon. But Thai tea in Thailand and in Thai restaurants are traditionally made with a black tea, artificial red food coloring, and artificial vanilla. So, spoiler alert, I got some natural from Sprouts. Was it Taiwala or something like that? I talked to you guys about it another time. And it has black tea. I forget what it has. It doesn't have any artificial colors. And it has pandan leaves, which is a vanilla, it's a leaf that's green and it tastes a little bit like vanilla. It's delightful. It's delightful. So I ordered some pandan powder. And then I was like, I really want to get that green tea that we tried. And I went on Amazon and I looked, and it's even worse. It's even worse than regular Thai tea. Because whatever green food colorings they use, like, had a special US warning, which I can't even imagine since we're not great about things like that. And it, but what it turned out to be, I did a lot of research about the flavors and things. So this, again, is not what Thai families do, just like we go in the South, we go to Hardee's and we get our super sweet, sugar-filled tea, right? That doesn't mean I can't make one different. I can make one with pear puree. I can do whatever I want. So I'm trying to take this delicious, wonderful thing and make it a little bit where it fits into my diet. And so I saw that it was green tea, jasmine, mint, and pandan. And so I use my pandan powder, which does not dissolve. So you have to shake it up every time, and it doesn't look nice in the fridge. I'm trying to find pandan leaves. We went to H Mart the other night and they were supposed to have them and I couldn't find them, but we only had 15 minutes. So here's how I made it, and I'm gonna try and put in the amounts and put it up on Healthy Slow Cooking maybe this week or next. Actually, it's Friday next week. Let's be realistic because I have a class tomorrow. So I had jasmine buds, like full, okay, stop touching the table. There we go. I brewed jasmine tea, like jasmine buds, for about 5 minutes. Then I added in, I have the super fancy Breville tea maker that you don't need to do. You can do this in a teapot. So you could pour hot water over the jasmine buds, take them out or not, depending on how big your strainer is. Then I added another, I think I used about 2 to 3 tablespoons. I think 2 tablespoons of the jasmine. I'm gonna write this down. I used another 1.5 tablespoons of a really nice green tea. And then I brewed that for 1.5 minutes because green tea is gonna get very bitter and nasty if you brew it too long. Then I mixed in some pandan. Mint. The first time I did mint, the second time I forgot the mint. I put some fresh mint in just to steep it with the jasmine blossoms. And then I stirred in some pandan powder. It would be better if I could steep the pandan because then it wouldn't separate. Don't have pandan, don't have access to an Asian market. I got ground pandan on Amazon, or you could just put some vanilla in, which you probably have. And the first time I did it, then I took some of that, pureed it, some whole medjool dates, pitted, of course, and added a little bit of non-dairy milk, and I made a creamy pint, and I've made a creamy chino with it too, and it is delightful. You can or cannot add some extra matcha to make it greener. The pandan powder made it green, but that is my new favorite thing. You could use decaf green tea. You could leave out the green tea completely and just make yourself a little herbal drink like that. So with, I did just get some Thai black tea plain from, no. I got natural Thai tea that has plain black tea and annatto, which is a natural red color. So I'm going to try making that too. So one anti-venom, that might work for you. Okay, let's see if there's any comments I'm missing. And if not, I am going to get the heck out of this heat. Let's see. Oh, the only thing I haven't addressed, okay, we don't know anything about Dr. McDougall except what you know. And we're also being very respectful to his family and their privacy. So, as most people will. So I don't know if they're going to release his cause of death or not. So this will be the first and the last that I'll mention that, because it's really, it makes me uncomfortable because it's not my business. And if the family says what they said, then that's what I believe. And I am sad about it, but yeah, it was a shock to all of us. What else was I going to say? There was one question, and I can't remember what it is now. But yeah, it is very sad. What else? Yeah, I can't remember anymore, but I'm hot. For those of you who came on late, just know that if you're in the heartbeat group, we are tonight at 6 p.m. We are having a live Zoom, so make sure to go over to the heartbeat group. Not in the free heartbeat group, join the heartbeat group. I will come back and put it in the comments for you guys in a few minutes. And we're just going to Zoom, and we're going to talk about exercise goals, and we're having, we have someone who specializes in exercise. This is all free. Oh, you found the Paco Jet? Okay, awesome. Yeah, CJ says, thanks for sharing your garden. Get out of the heat. I know, I'm like, can you see? I've got to be Eastern European. I'm from across the pond some way, because a little hot. You should see when I walk in the summer, it looks like I'm about to have a heart attack, even when I'm healthy and doing fine. Come to our exercise Zoom. And again, if you're like, well, I'm not even exercising, it's perfect to come. Come get some support. If your goal for next month is to walk from your door to the mailbox and back, you are welcome. If your goal is to do chair yoga 1 time a week, you're welcome. You want to do an Ironman, you want to go run 10 miles in the heat, God bless you. You are also welcome. But everyone has a chance, and there's usually some prizes and things like that. So basically we're just trying to all help each other and build up the community, and you guys can have some support in what you're doing. The other announcement was, and you see it in the heartbeat group too. Hey, Elizabeth. Exercise Zoom, Alyssa, right? Alyssa, we're going to make you come exercise with us. Eva says the Thai tea and the pandan leaf powder sounds interesting. And Dee still does the bar. And there's no wrong way to get your movement in. Oh, that's awesome. Well, see, and that way, I think Cheryl's making a spreadsheet this time so you can keep track of it. I did nothing in June. So if you're worried, what if I do start to do it and then something happens, I get sick or I go away? You know what happens? Nothing. It's fine. You do you and be where you need to be. I could have gotten crazy and gotten on the treadmill and made myself sick for an extra week. But so just know, we're setting examples in self-care and exercise, and we were hoping to start walking lives again, which I don't know if it happens, it's going to be in wee hours of the morning. But Cheryl and I are trying to do a setup where we can start doing the treadmill lives or the Peloton bike lives again. So that should happen. And then if you are in Florida, because yes, we are going to Florida in July, like mid-July, which we used to do because there was a conference I went to. But there's this woman who's great, and we're going to be working on our Reels skill and some other things. So Cheryl and I are actually doing a business workshop for 3 days. And we're doing some vacation before then, so we're doing a meetup. So if you're near Orlando, please come. We're going to have the meetup if it's 4 of us or 40 of us. It's going to be at an Indian restaurant, but the more notice you can give us, the more we can make sure we have a place for everybody. Any other questions before I go? Because I'm melting. It's 56 minutes. I have to pick my tomatoes. Oh, and Elisa, these are just 2. I think I have like 4 more tomatoes I'm picking today. I love heirloom tomatoes. I'm getting ready to go in and make myself some whole food plant-based mayo to have my tomato sandwiches, which is what we eat in the South. All right, y'all. Have just a really good day. And again, let's go back for you and for me, because I'm feeling way behind because I was sick, and you guys know I didn't even email for almost 10 days. I'm trying to get back in track with things, but also not pushing myself to get sick again, right? So there are a few things, those of you who are in Kathy's Cooking Club, just know, I'll tell you now, hey Stacy, is that we're not making the traditional injera this class. I'm going to do a second class where it takes 7 days to make it. And I have not been well for 7 whole days, so I wasn't able to film it. I'm pretty sure I have the batter and stuff. I'm going to be testing out what I did. I'm going to give you links to make the traditional batter, but we're going to make something we can make in 24 hours or less. And then we're going to make a bunch of stews and have a second class. I feel totally guilty about that. However, I'm becoming okay with it. Exactly. Lydia's saying, take it easy. I always, just so you guys know, because I think sometimes we all think we're the only ones who stress out. Yes, I do have a tamale recipe, and it's on plantbasedinstantpot.com. It's an Instant Pot tamale recipe. It is delightful and easy and good for the summer because it's better to cook in your Instant Pot, your slow cooker, your grill, things like air fryer, instead of using your your oven and stove. So I stress out about things, even though I go into class and I have the best time, and it's the Kathy's Cooking Club. It's just the best community. And if you guys are interested in joining in, there's a link up above. If you email me, I'll give you a sale code, because I'm probably going to do a sale on it in a little bit for new members only. But anyhow, we do two live classes a month, and my classes are usually, it's 2 to 3 hours. It's almost never 2 hours, and it's almost always 3 hours. And I'm always trying to do too much and do too much detail. And as I'm looking at Ethiopian food, we're going to do some spice blends, we're going to do some dishes, we're going to do this, that, and a 7-day process of making a flatbread that most people aren't even going to do. So like when we do, I have a dumpling wrapper question, a wonton wrapper class. So I show you how to make them, or you can buy them. And most people are going to buy them. But just know, if you're feeling a little stressed out, if you're worrying a little bit too much today, everybody else is too. So just take a deep breath. Look at where you can just tweak it, where everybody really gets a good time, a good day. It probably is in the cooking class. In Heartbeat there is, and I think it might be in the cooking class as well, there is a PDF list of classes and I believe recipes and what class they're in. There are over 120 past classes, so I have no idea what class they might be in off the top of my head, because it's 6 years of classes. But you definitely can get them on, you can get the recipe right this second from plantbasedinstantpot.com. But you can find the PDF. If you can't find the PDF, you can email support@healthyslowcooking.com and Cheryl will email that to you. Okay, guys, you're seeing me melt in front of you. Have the very, very best day that you can have today. And let's just all live lightly, kindly, and just feel a lot of delight. Just a lot of delight in the day. That's what I'm going for. Also, if your local Pure Soul is filming some kind of video promotion, and so I think you can get free food, or at least inexpensive food there from 1 to 3. So those are all my announcements. You have seen part of my garden. I'm going to pick tomatoes and I'm going inside. All right, see you guys soon.